And so I have put up my little tiny tree for Christmas this year. And that is all that I'm putting up. Christmas. Bah, humbug.
Good morning, everybody. It's Stephen here for Bland Designs, and this is my weekly vlog number 47 for Monday, December the 4th, 2017. Hope everybody had a good week. And we did do a Stephen and Walter live last night. If you weren't able to catch it, we were on an hour later than we usually are on Sundays because I had an art journaling class to teach yesterday, which didn't finish up until 4 o'clock. But of course, if you weren't able to catch us live, you can catch the rebroadcast. And please feel free to write any comments, questions that you have. I am keeping a record of interesting comments or things that I think would be of interest to other viewers that I can bring up during Stephen and Walter Live. And I don't always answer or I don't always make a comment about a comment. I mean, some comments are just fine by themselves. If you ask a specific question, I will try to the best of my ability to answer it. And I do have one comment that I want to go over today because that's going to lead me into sort of what's pissing me off, but we'll save that for a bit. So let's get right into things. What have I been up to? Well, I did make a gingerbread village, and if you want a good laugh, go to the video. It's linked below. And I must say, it was one of those things that was on my bucket list. It is now off my bucket list. It's off my list forever. Well, you'll understand why when you see the video. But my little Christmas village that started out as having 5 little houses, ended up with 3 little houses. And I don't think it's really a gingerbread village as much as it's a gingerbread slum. So watch the video. It's good for a laugh. It especially gets really funny as I klutz my way through it during the second half of the video. Okay, so what else have I been doing? Oh, something else I've been having a lot of fun with, and I've been doing a lot of experimentation. And this came from a suggestion from somebody, and I don't know who it was. I am sorry. I am really bad at remembering who has mentioned that or whatnot. But someone said, had I ever tried printing my own fabric using my art journal pages? Now, as you know, I scan my art journal pages into my computer so I can take them and make them into cards and things like that. So they're already there in the computer, but I was wondering about the process of printing on material. Now, I have tried this once before, but only on a very small scale. So basically what I have in my hand right here is printed material. The blue line you see around here is from my Cricut Maker. I used the Cricut Maker to cut out larger pieces of the material. What I basically did was cut down pieces of muslin to about 8 by 10, and then I had the Cricut Maker cut these down to about 7 3/4 by 8 1/4, something like that. And the way you just can't stick material into an inkjet printer. I tried. Okay, don't try this at home. You can't just stick in a piece of raw material. It's not stiff enough, so the printer won't. The rollers on the printer won't catch it, or if it does, in the case that I tried, it went in, it didn't come out. So I opened up the printer and there it was in a big ball off to the side. So don't do that. What you need to do is stiffen your material. Now, there are several products you can use, but what I used is something called Digital Ground. This is a product made by Golden. There may be other companies that make it as well, but I happen to have this. And the idea is that you put this onto, you brush it onto your material. It stiffens it, but it also gives it a gesso-like background that your ink will print on. And that's what I used to create this. Now the only thing is, it also makes your material fairly stiff. But I went ahead and did several of these, and I sewed together all of these pages to create this sheet of material. You can see on the back where I've sewn it. It's got sort of the feel of canvas to it. I probably just made the speaker or my microphone make a weird sound, but it has the consistency of almost like a light canvas. There are some other problems though. I mean, this is working out pretty good, but I have several problems. One, this stuff isn't easy to get. In fact, when I bought it, it was discounted. It was on sale at, never mind, my lipstick smeared. It was discounted at my art store because they were discontinuing it. Now, I don't know if the company has discontinued it or just that this particular art store is not going to carry it anymore. So I decided, there's nothing left in this. I decided to experiment with several other products. And I've had mixed results, but I have kept a record of my results. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to later today produce a video showing my experiments and the pros and cons of printing fabric in the way that I'm doing it. So that should go up either later today or it'll go up tomorrow. So watch for that because I think you'll find that really interesting. And I have found the whole process really interesting as well, and I've learned a lot. So it's kind of a new area I'm going into, printing my own material, and we'll see how things work out from that. Okay, so what else have I been up to? Okay, Christmas decorations. I finally got up my Christmas decorations, and I'm going to insert a video here to show you what I've done. Now, I've already said this before, Christmas, bah humbug, not really into it all that much for various reasons. Not going to get into them right now. But when you see my Christmas decorations, don't laugh too much, okay? I've only done one room and that's all I'm doing. We've done the outside of the house. I don't have a video of the outside of the house because at the time that I am making this vlog, it's daytime, so the lights don't show up as well. But maybe I'll go out one night this evening and do a quick video clip of the lights outside and have that ready for next week's vlog for you. But I went miniature this year. And what I mean by that is, or miniature, minimalist. I think that's the term I should use. I'm being a minimalist. Minimalist. Oh, more coffee. I need more coffee. Excuse me. Anyways, so I don't have a lot of decorations up. I did put on display the gingerbread slum, and you'll see that in the video as well. So I'm going to insert that in here, and you can take a look at it.
Okay, so these are my Christmas decorations this year, and I told you I went minimalist. So here's the tree, and here's the bottom of my tree with some of my Tim Holtz houses and my gingerbread slum. As you can see, put a couple of flameless candles at the back, and those gifts are fake. They came from the dollar store already decorated, those boxes. And down here we have that banner that I showed you before that I made. And up here in the wall are a couple of wreaths I've had for a few years. And if I take you over here to these doors, there's a, you don't need to see in there. There's one wreath. I made this wreath years and years ago, probably 25 years ago, and it's made from corks. That was back in the days before I was even doing any kind of real crafting. And I have another one that I made, and I'll shut this door as well. And this one's made out of pages from a book. And I made this about 5 years ago. And you can see that I stained the pages before I rolled them up in these cones to give it more of a vintage style look. And then over on this side of the room, make you dizzy, we have this bough of evergreens with some poinsettias in it, and it lights up as well. And the lights are on. It's hard to tell that they're on right now because I had to turn on the overhead lights to get this all into the shot. Then over by the fireplace, we have a wreath that I did not make that. I bought that some time ago. And these little snowflakes on either side. I might need some more greenery around the fireplace. I think that looks a little stark. May have to dig out some stuff I've got in a box in the crawl space. And there's another candle over there. And on the table, I have my banner, or not banner, my runner that I showed you that I made from scraps left over from the napkins I made, and a couple of other little ornaments on top of that. And so that does it. That's my decorations for this year. Not that exciting, very minimalist, as I said.
Okay, so as I said, I don't have a lot of decorations up, but that's enough. That's enough. And the reason I only did the one room, just the rec room, is because we're hosting Christmas dinner this year. So we'll have about 10 or 12 people here, and so that means I can't really use my dining room table because it only seats at the most 8 people. So I think we're going to do it all buffet style, and it'll be down in the rec room, and so that area is the area where most people will be, so make it look festive. Also, we've already got our turkey. They had turkey on special, 88 cents a pound, so we got a 14 pounder. That should be enough for 10 to 12 people, no problem. It's not the only thing we're going to have. And I've got to sit down today and I've got to make my list up of everything that I am prepping for that day and whatnot. I like to have everything listed. I'm just that way, and check them off as they get done. So I've got to do that today too. Got a lot of things to do today. And this day didn't start out all that great. It was just weird. When I got up this morning to come downstairs to get on my treadmill, I noticed that the internet wasn't connected, because out in the room I have my treadmill is where I have the modem, and it was all in red. So I don't know what was going on there. I reset it a couple of times. I eventually got everything to hook up again, but it was really weird. Usually if you reset the modem, it takes about 5 minutes or so for everything to come back up to speed. But this just didn't seem to be doing it. I suspect it was a problem at the provider's end. Hope it's not a problem at my end, but everything right now seems to be working okay, so that's good. And then in the process of getting the modem online, like, I'm not a good multitasker. I don't think anybody is. So I go to get off the treadmill without turning it off. Yes, I know, stupid move. My foot caught on the treadmill part as opposed to I was stepping over to the outside edges where nothing moves. I slipped. I sort of fell, hit my leg, the bottom part of my leg, on the edge of the treadmill, and kind of skinned myself a little bit there. There was blood. There'll be a bruise. I mean, I'm alive. It's not a major thing, but you know, that's how accidents happen. It's so easy, and that was just stupid. Turn off the damn treadmill, get off it then. Don't try getting off and on the treadmill when it's running. Okay? Duh. Anyways, I will live. Okay, and then what else would, just everything, it's one of those days where everything is out of sync. I have a ton of different things to do, and it seems like I've been doing them, but I'm not getting them done. You know, I don't know how to describe that feeling. It's just like everything's out of sync. So I'm a little late getting to this today to put together, so you probably won't see this until later today, because it'll take a while to get it up. And I don't know, just one of those kind of days. It's Monday. What more can I say? Okay, so YouTube channel of the week. Just came across this lady, Kavett, and it's kind of a very interesting website, really. So I put her down below as well, the link to it, but here you go. Take a look. This week's YouTube channel is by a lady called Kavett. She's a crafter, a graphic designer, and ampersand enthusiast, it says on her YouTube channel. And what I like about this particular YouTube channel is that it's a little quirky. She does a variety of different videos looking at DIY projects, and she does some neat experiments with
products. For example, the one that caught my eye was when she tried to put a crayon through a glue stick and do some crafting with it. And actually, you need to watch that video just to see whether or not you can put a crayon in a glue stick. But she has other videos as well where she tests different products in unusual ways and shows you how to make things for all kinds of occasions, all kinds of home decor and that kind of stuff. So although she's not specifically just about crafting, she extends the umbrella a little bit out there and may give you some ideas for experiments of your own with products that you may already have.
Okay, so next on our agenda is a recap of comments. Had lots of comments on my vlog from last week, people agreeing with my rant, as they call it, what's pissing me off and things like that. And other comments that I appreciate, some positive comments there. But I had one comment, and I'm not going to identify the person, but I mean, you can check it out. And this got me thinking. So I'll just read you the comment. It says, "Hi, Stephen. I really enjoy your videos to see your art adventures and your projects. Unfortunately, I'm not enjoying your What's Pissing Me Off segment like I used to enjoy it. It's gotten so serious lately. Used to be more lighthearted and mostly art related. Am I the only one feeling this way? Take care." She's right. Yeah, lately my What's Pissing Me Off on both the vlog and what we do when Walter does What's Pissing Him Off in the Stephen and Walter Live have been fairly serious. I don't know, maybe just because a couple of issues came up that I feel very strongly about. So I reviewed what I said in those, and yeah, really, they're not that lighthearted. They're actually kind of serious. Now, that doesn't mean that I do What's Pissing Me Off on purpose to try and be funny. I am not a stand-up comedian. Okay, I'm pretty much sure you've got that figured out. And they were issues that I'm genuinely thinking about, concerned with. But there's a lot of drama in life to start with. Do I need to add to that pile of drama? So this is what this comment, and I appreciate this comment. This is not a criticism of that comment, and I don't take this comment as a criticism either. I get the point of what this person is saying. I'm not going to promise that future What's Pissing Me Offs are going to be, you know, always really lighthearted and hilarious or something like that. When I think about what I want to talk about in this segment each week, it varies from, you know, the trivial to maybe the more serious. It really will depend upon my mood. So I'm going to move right now into What's Pissing Me Off this week. And this generated my thoughts that this person, you know, kind of put into me, I guess, how to say it. And once again, I want this person to know I really appreciate this comment. It's a check, okay? It's a check for me. So I do want to give people something that will, you know, brighten their day a little bit. Doesn't make them think too hard. They find informative and helpful, okay? It is not my intent to use my channel as a place where I can bitch and gripe about, you know, things that I would like to bitch and gripe about, okay? Although, I really feel this is cathartic in some ways because it allows me to express in what I considered a safe environment, because those of you that watch me on a regular basis, I kind of consider to be friends. And so I feel I'm doing this in a supportive environment. And I hope too you feel that way when you express your ideas in the comments. And please, I thank you for the nice things you say. It's always nice to have nice things said to you. But I also appreciate the constructive criticism, like this comment about the What's Pissing Me Off segment. That helps you, you know, grow. It's a reality check, that kind of thing. So please, never feel that you're going to hurt my feelings. of course, there is a right way and a wrong way to voice sometimes your opinions. And that's why I use the term constructive criticism. But anyway, so what's pissing me off? Well, what's pissing me off, or what this made me think about, is how we in our society, especially Canadians, I think, tend to be very careful about what we say. We're very much PC, politically correct, all the time. And that, in a sense, that politically correctness, I believe, is a form of censorship within our own society. What I mean by that is, if we have free will, and if we have the ability to express ourselves, free speech, and I hesitate to use the term free speech because that's an American term. That comes out of the Americans' Constitution. In Canada, we don't actually have free speech spelled out for us. We have a human rights code in our Constitution, but it's more a cultural thing for us that we respect the fact that people can say what they want to say. But having said that, the trend in the 21st century has been to political correctness. So watching everything you say, you don't want to offend any group out there. If we watch what we say all the time, nothing will get said. We'll be afraid to express our opinions. Now, there are different ways to express your opinions, of course. I think there is a nice way to express your opinions. You don't necessarily rant and rave, although sometimes that feels good too. But I still believe that everybody has the right to express their opinion. I express my opinion and what's pissing me off. I know that sometimes the topics that I pick are controversial. I have a tendency to not have a very good filter system, especially if something riling me up. I will just spew it forth, and later I'll go, ooh, I probably shouldn't have said it that way. But that's me, okay? And anybody who knows me, I think, pretty much accepts that that's the way I am. And, they're still my friend. If they're not my friend, I don't care. It's simple as that. Then you're not important to me, kind of a thing. But I did notice, like in other cultures, there's less of this PC business. This is a real North American kind of thing. For example, I felt when we were in Australia last time that the Aussies have a tendency to say what they think very matter-of-factly. I mean, we were on a bus in a van going on a wine tour, and the guy driving the van, the tour guide, was basically making some gay jokes. Okay, in Canada, we don't do that, or we don't do it out in public with people we don't know, put it that way. It's not that I found the jokes offensive. I did not. They were funny. In fact, I could have told him a couple new ones myself. That's not a problem, okay? I don't take myself that seriously that should get me all riled up. But what I found refreshing about the Aussies was that really, there it was, they said it, no filter, but not said in a derogatory manner. It wasn't meant to hurt anybody. And I'm not just talking about comments about gay people. We ran into people all over the place in Sydney that we'd overhear conversations, and they were just matter-of-factly pointing out something that we might cringe at in North America and go, ooh, you can't really say that, can you? So I found that really refreshing, because I believe those are honest opinions. They weren't trying to hurt anybody's feelings. They were just stating what they felt was, I guess, factual or fact-like. Here in Canada, we don't. We don't say things like that. This is why people think we're really polite. We're not polite. We're just afraid to be controversial. We just don't like conflict. That's what it is more than anything else. But our society's gotten so into this political correctness now that nothing really gets said. we pussyfoot around issues. Sometimes you need to call a spade a spade. Sometimes you need to be point blank in your expression of an idea. If you skim around it, then people get more confused. They're not really sure where you stand on an issue. And I think that creates more miscommunication than if you're just right up front, blunt about it. But having said that, we also want to be careful about people's feelings as well. I know that. I've hurt enough people's feelings over the years because of something that I said, and that's because of my lack of a strong filter system. Sometimes I think I'm being funny, and I mean what I've said in sort of a sarcastic but funny way. I didn't really mean to hurt the person's feelings. And then I realize after the fact, oh, they didn't see the humor in what I was saying. They took it right at face value, and that's not good. So I've done my fair share of apologizing, okay, for things that I have said. The other thing about this that pisses me off, though, is the fact that sometimes I'm not allowed to express my opinions. I've been around a lot of people, they're friends, and I will express an opinion because I think it's a safe environment, and I'll get this, oh, Steve, you can't say that. Don't go there. And yet, they express their opinion, and I don't say that to them. And in fact, they seem to feel that what their opinion is the only opinion, and that's the right one. These are good friends. These are people I like, okay? Maybe that's why I don't really openly criticize them, because I do like them and I don't want to hurt their feelings. But sometimes I feel that I open my mouth and it's wrong, okay? What I have said is wrong. Yet, if they say it, it's right. Maybe that's just me being paranoid, whatever. I don't know. But I've never been one of those kind of people, at least I don't think I am. Other people would probably disagree with me. In fact, I know other people would disagree with me. I've never felt that I'm the kind of person who forces my opinions down people's throats. That's not to say that I feel that I'm a really open-minded person. I'm not really an open-minded person on some issues, things like that. But I try to be cautious about who I'm expressing my opinion to and when I express it. But like I said, go back to that lack of a filter. That's what I'm really pissed off at, is the fact that I don't have a filter. And I'm not really sure how to create one. I'm an impulsive person, okay? I'm an emotional person as well. And so that's my problem. Sometimes I don't think before I speak, and I get into all kinds of trouble because of that. And that has been with me for my whole life. And I try to be conscious of it, but I'm not that good at my own self-policing, I guess, if you want to call it. So, back to what am I pissed off at? Well, I started off by saying I was pissed off about free will or free speech, and then the ability to express opinions and being politically correct or not being politically correct. But I think what I'm really pissed off about the most has to do with a personality quirk in myself, and that is the lack of a strong filter. So, having said that, if I ever say anything on my vlogs or on Stephen and Walter Live that you find offensive, let me apologize for that now and let you know that I really didn't intend to be offensive. It's just my lack of a strong filter. I'll work on that, but I'm 60 years old. Old dog, new tricks. Yeah, you know where I'm going. Okay, off the soapbox. Next week, I'll try to find something that I'm pissed off at that's a little bit more light, okay? Thank you. All right, let's see. So what do we got down below? Well, we've got the link to Stephen and Walter Live is down there. The link to the YouTube channel of the week is down there. And of course, the link to my what I call crap number 18, making a gingerbread village for the first time. Yeah, my unintentional foray into the world of comedy. Okay, so check it out, you'll see what I mean. Okay, so let's move to technique tips and product reviews and things like that, new stuff. Well, I got this rubber stamp. It's by Prima. I ordered it a couple of weeks ago, just came in, and I really like it. It's steampunkish. So what I've already done is I've stamped it, I've scanned it, and now I've put it into on my computer, and I can resize it using the Cricut Maker and do whatever I want with it. And I am going to do a art journal page with this as well. But when I saw it, I thought, that's cool. That's really cool. And by the way, if you're interested, it's called Quinton. And there's a line of them, as you can see on the back. Get the glare off as best I can. Let me move it in. There you go. So they've got some interesting ones. I might order a couple of the others. I mean, I kind of like this one. This one's kind of freaky. And I kind of like this one as well. So I might order those later today because I think they're kind of cool. Try not to buy too many rubber stamps because I have hundreds, literally hundreds. And I don't use them that often. Well, once I get them into the Cricut Maker, I never have to stamp with them again. So what else is new? Oh yeah, I went on to the Interweave site. Now if you don't know what Interweave is the company that produces the magazine Cloth Paper Scissors. And they also have a large variety of educational DVDs or downloadable videos teaching you all kinds of different things in the craft world. They had a Black Friday sale last week, and it was a great sale. And you know that right now I'm sort of all about learning how to sort of quilt and sew and things like that. So I took the opportunity at ridiculously low prices to buy a whole bunch of DVDs about quilting, sewing techniques, things like that. And in that package, and it was a real bargain, I got electronic versions of a magazine called Quilting something. I'm looking over where they are and I probably can't see them and I can't get off the chair. They're about quilting. It's a quilting magazine of some sort. I've got all the issues from 2010 to 2016. I got them all on about 4 or 5 DVDs for $3 American. Not each, for the whole set. In fact, I didn't realize I was getting that many when I ordered it. I thought I was only getting a couple of years. I didn't realize how many years I was getting. And I thought it was more expensive than that, but bonus when it came. And I got a couple of other ones as well, and they deliver very fast. It came through the US Postal Service, and shipping was not expensive. So I got 6-7 DVDs for about, with the shipping, for under $30 Canadian. So now I just have to sit down and start watching them. Let's see, so what else? Oh, I just picked these up yesterday, and I have never used them before. It's called Glitter Kiss. It's by a company, I think that's called Cosmic Shimmer. And it says, add a sparkling touch and glittering highlights to all your craft projects. And so basically, I'm not sure what this is. Well, I think that comes off and that's a pad that you use to apply it. But it's basically like a glitter glue. But it's, one of the women in my class had some of this and she was doing it through a stencil. And it looked really cool. So I bought 4 colors. I bought a couple of different kinds of blue. And I got this purple and this copper kind of a thing. I thought these colors would go nice together. So maybe later today or later this week, I'll get a chance to play around with them and see what the end result is. And maybe I'll do a quick video review of this particular product. But it looked pretty good on what she was using them on. And let's see, what else? Okay, I guess I don't have any other new products to show you, but I do have from my inspiration list. Now, we went last week to the One of a Kind show in Toronto. They have this every year around Christmas time. I think they also do it in the spring as well. And these are people, artisans, who, everything's supposed to be basically handmade. We talked about this in a little bit more detail on Stephen and Walter Live, so I don't want to reiterate what we've already discussed, and if you didn't see that, you can go to the link and check it out. But needless to say, I didn't buy anything. There was some really interesting stuff, but I knew it would be expensive. Not all of it is really handmade either. Some of it is, mass-produced as well. But I wanted to go simply to get inspiration, some ideas, and I did. I got a whole lot of ideas. And so I want to share two of those ideas with you today. One of them is something I call sculpted oil paint abstract. Now, I have some oil paints, but I have not attempted to use them for anything. But I saw that one person, this one artist, had sort of done trees and forest scenes, and they had built the oil paint up on the canvas, and when it dried, you got like a 3D effect, but they did it as abstract as well. So I'm thinking of giving that a try. Now, I can't do trees or anything landscape, but I might be able to do something in an abstract format. The only thing I'm wondering is, do I need to add something to the oil paint to make it stiffer? Now, I know there is a product that people use for this, and it's called cold wax, and I have some of that. So I'll have to go and research on YouTube and see what people are doing in this line, but I thought the effect was really kind of neat. And I'm just basically thinking out loud here, but I think you'd probably apply it using, a palette knife and that kind of thing. So I might give that a try too later in the week and see what I can do with that. And the other inspiration I got was making journals using the covers from old books. There was one stand there where the person had made all of these journals, blank journals, like blank pages lined or just white paper inside, and they were spiral bound, but they had taken for the covers off of old hardcover books, like old Hardy Boy books and Nancy Drew books and kids books and things like that. Had punched those so they'd fit in the spiral binding, and I thought they made pretty cool looking journals. Now, I have some covers that are hardcovers that I saved when I went out and I bought some used books to cut up for collage pieces, and I cut the spines off and I saved the covers. So I could do something like that as well. Not sure about the punching. I do have several punches that will punch spiral bound holes. I'm just wondering whether it's strong enough to punch through hard covers. I'll have to experiment with that. Mind you, I don't have to necessarily spiral bind them. I can use them. There's other ways to bind as well. And I know some book binding techniques since I have made hardcover journals before. But I just thought that would be an interesting way to use up, if you, like me, if you buy some old used books and cut them up for collage pieces, don't throw out the covers. Maybe you can use those to create the covers on a journal, make a nice gift. So those are my two pieces of inspiration that I picked up at the One of a Kind show this week. I actually have a list of about 14 ideas that came to my mind. Not all of those are absolutely based on a product that I saw there. It's more or less they inspired me to think of something else to do. So I'll share some more of those ideas with you in future vlogs. So, what events in the past week? Well, we've already talked about the One of a Kind show, and we went to the Distillery District in Toronto for the Christmas market. The Distillery District is basically, that's what it was. It was a big old distillery. It was there for 100 years or more. Eventually shut down, sat around, dilapidated. The city went in, rejuvenated it, built condos in there, put in restaurants, and there's a whole bunch of really neat art galleries in there as well. And they have this Christmas market every year where they have all these little chalet things, booths, set up in the streets of the Distillery District, and they sell, all kinds of things. At least that's what I thought it was going to be. They charge you $20 for admission, but bonus, we went on during the weeks. We went last Tuesday, and during the week, from Monday to I think till Thursday or something, they don't charge admission. They charge admission on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. I think the reason is it's a crowd control thing, because there's lineups to get into it, and this place is huge, but that's how many people are there. So that's one reason why we went during the week as well. Thought there'd be less of a crowd. There was still a lot of people there, but we didn't have to line up. But it was disappointing. I'm glad we didn't pay the $20 or had to pay the $20, because that was a ripoff. There wasn't anything that exciting in the booths. Most of them were food, like gourmet grilled cheese, poutine, candy, that kind of thing. And the ones that did have products for sale, they were mass-produced cheap crap, basically. The regular stores, which are mostly art gallery style type stores, were open, of course, and you can go through there and look at things. But basically, as a Christmas market is concerned, it's just a trap. Now, mind you, having said that, I think the money that you pay if you pay for admission to get into it, I think that is a charity. That money goes to a charity. So, there you go. They're making money for charity. But I was a little disappointed when we went there. But I do have a video. I'm going to insert it here that'll show you just briefly both the one-of-a-kind show and the Christmas market at the Distillery District.
So we're at the one-of-a-kind show here in Toronto. This is just giving you an overview. It goes for miles and miles and miles. All kinds of things. Jewelry, clothing, stained glass, candles, soap, you name it. It's all here. So this just gives you an idea of how large this really is. So you can see there's quite a variety of things. And there's Walter looking thrilled, as usual. And here's the central area of the show, the giant Christmas tree. And around at the bottom of the tree, it looks like they're featuring some of the different things that can be bought here from different displays. Another shot here. Walter's head. Okay, so we did the one-of-a-kind show, and now we're down in the Distillery District, which is a tourist district, and we're at the Christmas market. We're going off to have lunch, and then I'll take some more pictures later on. So we're stopping for lunch, and we're in Mill Street Brewery, which is not the place we thought we were going to. Menu looks a little limited. Very trendy place, as you can see. So we're trying to decide what we're going to have. Oh well, they have beer, so that's good. As Canadians, patio weather is any kind of weather for us. As you can see, those people are outside sitting around a fireplace drinking beer. That's just how we do it in Canada. So this is the central hall of the Christmas market in the Distillery District. So you can see this guy standing on the lights. They have stores inside, and they have all these little shelves on the outside selling everything from food to, Christmas decorations, things like that. Taking a picture. Very Christmassy looking. In the heart of the city. So what else did we do this past week? Well, Saturday night we were at a baby shower. This is for the daughter of the lady that owns the scrapbooking store, Class Act, that I used to work at and still do, teaching classes and things like that. And so we were invited to that. It was a co-ed kind of thing, although there were only about 4 of us men there. I think a couple of more came a little later on. So what can I say about baby shower? It was very nice, the food was good, and she got lots of gifts and unwrapped those. But really, as a man at a baby shower, I really felt like a fish out of water. But nevertheless, it was nice of them to invite us. And let's see, I did my art journal class number 13 yesterday. And this one was about ATCs, artist trading cards. I have never really been interested in artist trading cards.
I know what they are, but I really hadn't made any until I had a prep for this class. The reason I was doing a class in my art journaling class about artist trading cards is because a couple of the ladies in my group are big into making artist trading cards, and they wanted me to see if, if other people, do a class to see if other people were interested, because they want to start a group that'll meet regularly to, work on trading cards and to trade them. And the owner of the store, she is setting up that facility for these people. So we did the class. Everybody had a good time, and I got some people did trade their cards, and I got a few, so I thought I'd show them to you. This one is in its own little package. They're all very pretty. Vintage Christmas one. I did a bunch of vintage Christmas ones too. This is one of mine. I think I made the background a little too busy. But what I did was I went to Google and I downloaded some Norman Rockwell Christmas pictures and then shrunk them down, put them through the Cricut Maker and had it cut them out. This one's very pretty. Very pretty. Very simple technique, but very pretty. And this one, Kristen, who comes to my classes on a regular basis and is a friend, she just got this stencil. And so she used, I'm not sure what color the yellow was, but she used cobalt blue through the stencil, which when it mixed with the, actually it's an olive, I think. It's looking under the lights more yellow, but it's more of an olive color. This is what she got, and I think that's stunning. I said to her, I don't think I'd put anything else on that card. I would leave it just like that. I think that is so stunning. That is a cool stencil. But anyways, there were lots of very creative people, and I guess doing ATC cards is very much like doing an art journal page. It's the same principles, except you're doing it in miniature. And I have to say, I'd rather do an art journal page than work in something this small. That's just me with it. But these are very, very popular. So hopefully the club, I'm not going to be running it. This will be run by themselves, the people who want to get together for this. It's more informal than a class. And I hope that works out for them and they have a good time. What else? Oh, we had RMG Friday, where Walter and I volunteer as gallery attendants, and I had a bit of a surprise. There were some of us that volunteer that were presented with an award. This is Canada's tail end of Canada's 150th birthday. So there's been all kinds of special events all across the country, and there's been special awards to mark the 150 years. And so our local MP, Member of Parliament, came and he presented a bunch of us with this medal, which I'll give you a closer look. In the center is the symbol that they were using this year for our 150th anniversary. Maple leaf, stylized maple leaf with the colors, and each point represents a province or territory. And on the outside, though, which is kind of interesting, there's a name, Colin Carey, MP. That's our Member of Parliament for our area. It's got the years, like 1867 to 2017, 150 years. And below that, it says Oshawa, which is my town. On the back, you have the Canadian coat of arms and stuff written in Latin, which I did take Latin in university, but only like one course. Deserentes, Malorum, Patrium, Amare, Jusca, Admare. Well, I know the bottom part, and I didn't say it what. Amare, Jusco, I don't know, means from sea to sea. I know that. I'm just not sure what the one at the top means. I should put it in Google and find out. Anyways, very nice. It did come with, and I'll show you this, just putting that back in the box. It came with a scroll with my name on it. signed by the MP as well. So it was a very nice surprise. I'm surprised that I should have got something like this, because in terms of the volunteers and everything in the art gallery, there's quite a few of us, and we all work in different departments, and there have been many of them there that have been doing this for a lot more years than I have been. So, you know, nevertheless, I was thrilled to get it. Now, having said that, now I'm going to undercut what I just said. What I find a little tacky is the fact that the MP's name is on this medallion. Self-promotion, whatever. When he gave it to me, the sarcastic part of me kicked in, and of course we all had our picture taken as a large group, and then we had our pictures taken individually with the Member of Parliament. And well, that reminds me, I have to go and check that website out, because supposedly those pictures are being posted. But I didn't vote for him. He's a member. He represents the Progressive Conservative Party. I vote Liberal. Yeah, so I was tempted when he gave it to me. Yeah, thanks. And I didn't even vote for you. Haha. But I didn't say that. Okay, remember what I said about my filter? Okay, I did think it in my head though, and it almost came out of my mouth, but luckily something inside of me said, not appropriate, don't do that, don't do that. So I didn't. So anyways, I just find it funny that it's got his name on it. Now I know it can't have my name on it, because, you know, they give these things out a lot this year, all across Canada for different things. So, you know, but I just think, you know, it's got his name on it, my award, but at least I've got the scroll that does have my name on it. So anyways, it's something, it's nice, it's an event, and I appreciate it. That was really nice of the people at the art gallery to put my name forward for this. Okay, so what's coming up? Not a heck of a lot. Got some art projects I want to work on this week. I got some videos I want to make, as I've told you. And tomorrow we're going off to see about getting those prints that we bought at the RMG Exposed auction, getting those framed. Already have contacted a person that does this and have an appointment to meet with him tomorrow. We're having trouble with our hot tub. We're waiting to find out about a replacement motor we need for it. That's going to go ka-ching, ka-ching. And yeah, nothing else that I can think of coming up this week. But, you know, that's the beauty of being retired, right? Every day there could be a new adventure. Just leave yourself open to it. So, having said that, that's enough from me for now. I hope you have a week full of adventure, good adventures. And once again, Stephen and Walter Live will be on at 4 o'clock, back to a regular time, this Sunday coming, 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Hope to see you there. And I hope you have an excellent week. Bye-bye for now.